So basically, the greater the competition, the greater the feeling of racism and ethnocentrism. The conflict perspective views economic inequalities as the cause for the increase in racism and ethnocentrism. Okay, so remember what have been discussed before, whereby a conflict perspective always view that this is due to the social inequalities. Okay, so racist ideology justifies discrimination towards blacks on the basis that their position is inferior. Okay, hence they are deemed unfit to shoulder high positions, gain an educations, or have access to other basic facilities and service. So we can see that, okay, just now we have discussed about the causes of racism and also ethnocentrism. Okay, now let us understand about prejudice. Okay, what do you understand with prejudice? Okay, prejudice is something related to negative view of people from other racial or ethnic groups. It leads people to hate others because of ethnic and racial differences and because they have traits which are deemed undesirable to other groups of society. Okay, so basically racial and ethnic relations may be further strained by prejudice and also discrimination. Okay, so what is discrimination? Okay, discrimination is unfair and also unequal treatment towards individuals or groups on the basis of irrelevant criteria such as different gender, race, ethnicity, or also due to different social class. So discrimination happens when one group of people deny other groups of people. Okay, they deny other groups of people's right because of the racial and also due to the ethnic differences. Okay, so when we discuss about prejudice and discrimination just now, we can see that an important factor that brings about prejudice and discrimination is inaccurate social perception, okay, about a racial or ethnic group. Okay, so this perception is further aggravated by an early history of confrontations between these racial and also the ethnic groups. Okay, so usually it will lead to confrontation, right? Confrontation between the racial and ethnic groups will usually bring about the feelings of us and also them. Okay, so this is the attitude of viewing unfamiliar people as outsiders, okay, which means that one's relation with them is not equal, okay, to that enjoy with insiders. Okay, so this is related to insiders and also the outsider sentiment that leads to conflict. These feelings makes us consider outsiders as the enemy, right? Outsiders as the untrustworthy, the dubious and also the unworthy of equal treatment. Okay, and when we talk about prejudice and discriminations, it is also related to the process of socialization that tends to worsen the perception. Okay, especially when distorted perceptions are passed down from generation to generation. Okay, moreover, we can see that with the influence of mass media, okay, whereby mass media is responsible for the perpetuations of these wrong perceptions, okay, giving the impression that racial or ethnic groups violent, poor, or evil. Okay, so the mass media here, this is related to what had been what delivered by TV, okay, by the radio, magazines, newspaper, and even through films. Okay, for example, we can see that how Hollywood, okay, they tends to portray blacks as criminals, right, drunkards, and also this causes of various social and also economic problems. Okay, and they also try to portray the Muslims as the terrorists, okay, which leads towards the Islamophobia. So this is also what is considered as the prejudice and also discrimination. Okay, the other one is which is due to stereotype. Okay, ethnic conflict arise due to stereotype. Okay, what is mentioned by stereotype here is the presumed notions that form beliefs, okay, or it may form the expectations and expressions that it may not be true. Okay, so stereotypes usually link with negative traits, okay, to a particular ethnic group. For example, okay, the widespread belief that Malays are lazy. Okay, so we can see that prejudice and discriminations are closely linked to the concept of stereotype. Okay, so these widely held belief may have been formed due to past experiences, okay, through socialization or maybe also through hearsay. Okay, so stereotype usually take effect whenever someone meets people from other ethnic group for the first time. Okay, so though they may not possess any negative traits as popularly presumed, stereotype will cause us to have a bad impression of others from the beginning for no good reason. Okay, for example, most people will have bad impression for Negroes, right, and Africans upon encountering them because of the widespread belief that these ethnic groups tend towards crime and also violence. Okay, our first impression would be proved to be misguided. Okay, if we stop to consider who the current president of the United States is now. Okay, and in Malaysia, immigrants from we have bad experience with some of Indonesia, Bangladesh, okay, people from Bangladesh, okay, Myanmar, Vietnam, right, and other countries. Okay, so those people are often blamed for increasing incidents of crime, okay, and also moral depravity in the country. Okay, so this is the what is called as stereotype. Okay, so we can see that race and ethnic relation is a process which develops through time. Okay, and usually it begins with a preliminary social contract, okay, which hopefully would lead to unity. Okay, yet this process may not turn out this way. Okay, to facilitate our discussion, please take a look at the following race, okay, and ethnic relation process, which forms a continuum beginning with segregations and eventually leading to biological integration. Okay, so let us look at this structure. You can see that how it begins from low integration to high integration. Okay, so we can see that beginning from the low integration, usually it is based on segregation, right, and then accommodation, and after that it goes towards the acculturation, and then assimilation, okay, and up to amalgamation. Okay, so this is what we say that how, okay, it also lead to the biological integration, okay, when it comes to amalgamation. Okay, let us go through one by one the process, which begins with segregation. Race and ethnic relations are characterized by separation, okay, where racial and ethnic groups are physically, socially, and also culturally set apart from each other. Okay, for example, the apartheid system in South Africa. Okay. The second one, when it leads to accommodation. Okay, racial and ethnic groups coexist in peace. Okay, though they still remain separate. Okay, so each group is politically represented, okay, and attempt to compromise with each other, okay, in order to safeguard their rights and also their interests. This relationship pattern is usually found in multicultural societies. and then it will lead to acculturation. Okay, so we have also discussed about this before, whereby racial and ethnic relations are characterized by cultural assimilation. Okay, remember when we mentioned about Baba and Nyonya? Okay, so that is due to cultural assimilation, whereby different racial and ethnic groups borrow and absorb cultural elements from each other. Okay, and in extreme cases, the minority groups tend to accept the dominant groups. They accept the dominant group's culture wholesale. Okay. Okay, and then it may also lead to assimilation. Okay, racial and ethnic relations are characterized by structural assimilation as opposed to cultural assimilation. Okay, so you can see how from structural assimilation to cultural assimilation. So at this level, minority groups are absorbed into mainstream society already. Okay, and they are not only at the cultural level, but also in terms of economic, education, and so on. And the last process when it comes to amalgamation. What is amalgamation? Okay, amalgamation here, when racial and ethnic relations are characterized by interracial marriages. Okay, for example, a Chinese married a Malay. Okay, an Indian married a Chinese. Okay, so as a result, a new race is formed. Okay, and this may unify the various ethnic and also the racial groups. Okay, so what you may understand just now, amalgamation is when two persons from different races get married. Okay, so it is about the unifications of the two races through marriage. Okay, so theoretically, an ideal form of integration happens when biological and racial factors are set aside. Okay, for example, as practiced in Brazil and also in Hawaii, okay, where interracial marriages are the norms. Okay, so we have come to the end of our topic. Okay, for topic 9 on ethnic relations here. Okay, let me summarize what we have discussed just now. Okay, in the beginning, we have discussed about race and ethnic, right? Whereby the studies on race and ethnic, okay, it focus about the field of social science that have high practical value. Okay, because it is useful in solving racial conflict within the nation. Okay, so you have to understand what is the difference between race and also the ethnic. Okay, race is a concept characterized by biological features of a group. Okay, whereas ethnicity refers to the cultural element that differentiate one social group from another. Okay, and just now we also have discussed how ethnic conflicts, when there are difference of ethnic, so they may lead to ethnic conflicts, and ethnic conflicts have negative consequences, okay, to a multicultural society, okay, because it causes disunity and also disorder in a society, and ultimately the nation suffers economically, socially, and also politically. Okay, and ethnic unity promises a calmer social atmosphere which is more tolerant, okay, of cultural difference. Okay, so if this can be achieved, the nation will benefit because everyone will work together towards realizing shared goals. Okay, so that is all for topic 9 on ethnic relations.